Hello, everybody. I just needed to ask a question. Have the need to ask a question for all of you, for anybody that may be watching, in regards to electricity. See, there's all these varieties of electricity nowadays, but have you guessed or have you found out which is the main one, which is the only one? There's only one right answer among a bunch of wrong answers. A bunch of incorrect answers out of a bunch of all of those incorrect answers. There's only one going to be one correct answer because there's only one correct answer to a mathematical problem. You ask it, any mathematics, there's only one answer to the problem. And so, as such, there is this problem with electricity. Now, the problem is there's all these varieties of electricity going on now, as of now. You got solar, you got wind turbines all over the earth, you got coal, you got gas, but there's only one correct one. And the only correct one, it's the only one that doesn't leave any rubbish. It's the only one that doesn't leave any garbage at the end of the day. Okay. And that is gas. Gas, it's clean, it's ready at the source, it's clean enough to cook with. It's methane. Methane is CH4. It's four times hydrogen. Four times hydrogen, think about it. And everybody, all of these supposed environmentalists, they're out there, they're trying to extract hydrogen and make hydrogen engines when you got CH4 ready at the source. That's clean enough to cook with in abundance, in great abundance in the earth. So, you know, you use it, people say, oh, put CO2. How is CH4 going to become CO2, by the way? And furthermore, the the knowledge on it says it breaks down in 6 to 12 years anyway. So is it not that you don't think that it's going to go back to its source? As if it wouldn't go back to its source, the same as water. H2O evaporates, CH4 evaporates, but it evaporates quicker because it has to go back probably through other ways, through the Earth's fissures and all that. So where it comes from. So think about that. If you can't differentiate between, well, there's two, namely, there's coal and gas. They're the two main ones. If you can't differentiate between which one's right, just think. Gas it leaves no garbage, and coal, it's not coming back in your lifetime. So guess what happens? Debt cavities in the earth, year after year after year, and all the ash left over as garbage. That's the problem. Okay, get rid of that. Everybody needs to switch. Has got to switch over to gas. That's what I'm bringing. Okay, think about it. Okay. Oh yeah, and those renewables. I might as well mention it all now. I've mentioned it on another video, but I'll just be properly dated and make another one. Maybe it's better. So you got your renewables. It takes gas to make renewables anyway, and it leaves you in a debt of electricity from years and years and years. And say, why would you leave, a solar panel up in the heat and leave it reproducing electricity through cables all day long? All day long, there's all these panels. You don't know how much it's going to produce. You don't know when the sun's going to be up. But with gas, you can just put on the generator whenever you want and charge a battery, and then boom, your battery's charged. You turn off the generator, and then you got whenever you need it, and you're not going to use all that electricity all at once. That's why it's efficient. But you got your people that leave their generators on all day, and they miss out on a lot of things. So, again, you got these renewables. You got turbines up all over the earth, waiting for the wind to go. When you got gas, when you can just use gas to charge a battery whenever you want. And people are trying to. But the problem is you got a grid that's got all this electricity constantly going through cables all day long. All day long you got electricity being. Why? You don't need to have it on all day long. When you can have a battery at home, you can just charge it whenever you want, and then the battery's going to last however long you want. And if you ask them about what about your fridge, well, you can have a gas fridge. They don't have gas fridges for nothing. You can have a gas fridge that works off a little tiny pilot light. You can use propane, or you can make a methane one, and you can have it off a little pilot light. Most people have pilot lights on the heater all year long, waiting for it to go cold, and they turn it on. A lot of people might leave the pilot light off, but at least if you're going to have a pilot light on all year round, at least you can have it to good use. In having a gas fridge, you have a gas fridge, and you just make sure you turn your generator off during the daytime. And you might say, oh, everybody's connected to the grid's generator, so it's got to be going all day. But at least if you turn your electricity off during the daytime and you got a battery, that the generator from the grid, it's not going to run as much. It can actually, the thing with gas generators is that they can detect when something's plugged in, and then they ramp up or down depending on how much is plugged in is going to be drawn from it. But still, it doesn't really need to be a grid anyway. If you can just have a battery at home, have a generator to charge that battery in a quiet, soundproof enclosure, you save 99%. 99% less. You can use 99% electricity if you do what I'm saying. And there you go, all these people putting all these solar panels up over the whole entire earth, and the earth needs sunlight. The water's got to evaporate from the earth. The wind is going somewhere, but the earth's it's not for that. When you can have a generator, a little generator that can power the whole entire city, and when people are putting up all these turbines all over the earth, and you don't, again, those renewables are connected to the grid anyway, and the grid's always on. So there's a excess of electricity that's being reproduced all day and night long through these cables. So think about it. Think about where that electricity is going and how that's affecting you. But if you had all of that, think about it in terms of dollars. If you had all of those dollars in dollars, and what are you spending it on? You're spending it on nothing. It's not going to do anything for you. It goes to the garbage. And then you got to work out how to get rid of it and try to get back out of debt. And you spend your whole life trying to get out of debt. It's connected to that. That's where it's connected to. Whereas if you had gas, if you use your gas appropriately, if you quit with these renewables, if you quit with the coal, you could even make it on the generator off the grid if you'd used it properly. The idea is to be efficient. Efficiency, efficient, correct, adequate, not inefficient, not incorrect, not inadequate. There's a certain way to do things. There's an intelligent way to do things. There's a happy way to do things. There's only one way to do it, and that's the way I'm saying. I'm giving you the answer. Now, it seems mediocre that I'm putting these videos. I'm putting videos out on YouTube when I should probably be doing something else about it. Well, I can't really do anything else about it right now because I'm in a coal area, and it's constantly debt for me. And I've only realised this the past couple of years, and I've been, I've had to make decisions, and see, I'm already winning out even though I'm not on coal. See, I've got to figure out where I'm going, how I'm going to get there. I don't have everything as everybody else does in Australia. I can't just jump in a car and go somewhere. My childhood wasn't that good. I was more worse off. Okay, so I've got more to dig myself out of, and now I basically have in terms of knowledge, and now that's the next step. Once I'm out of this area, I can be in an area where I can be benefiting and plussing on, and I don't know if I'll be putting these videos out. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. The answers are more maybe through government. It's either going to be through government or through enterprise for business, and maybe I'll just make some generators for people to use with the batteries to go with it, and then get everybody off the grid in that regard. But again, there's a certain way to use electricity. There's a certain way to produce it. And the only way is gas. That's the only clean way. That's the only way that leaves no garbage. You get these renewables. They can't be recycled. They're trying to bury these turbines and delete it off their memories as if it's not going to affect anybody and as if they're going to get away with it. They're not going to get away with it. Okay? What goes around comes around. People are going to start realizing I'm one of the persons that realize. So I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not going to stand for it and then die without knowing about it and as if it's going to fix itself up. No, I've got to. Something needs to be done about this. Okay, there's that. Supposedly the solar panels can't be recycled either. And think about it. The solar panels. There's how many there are. You don't want to be reproducing electricity all day and all night long through a grid. You don't know, and yeah, it's connected to the generators anyway. So why be a waste? Well, it's not waste. It's not the correct word actually. It's garbage or misuse. It's why be excessive and have something when there's no need for it. It's needless. It's hopeless. It's wasteless because there's no way to get rid of it properly. You have a wasteful, it's going somewhere. It's in a process of. It's wasteless. It's careless. It's in a process of not being a nuisance. Careless, wasteless. The wrong way of doing things. Hopeless. Because there's always something there. But it's a matter of that being properly done. Okay, so so you go, okay, these renewables again. There's so many of them up everywhere. All these panels are going up at the moment. In Western Australia, everyone's going on renewables. Maybe because if everybody has renewables on the house, say if everybody has solar on the house, and everybody's putting the gas is not needed to be using or to be that much being produced through generators anyway. In respect to what I'm saying, in just meaning to be there to charge a battery, and if you could have your own generator at home. But if it is, there's enough there. I mean, look, you got hydrogen, H2O, you got the ocean, and you got carbon in the earth. They obviously mix together and make CH4. That's what it is, methane CH4.